school. I think it was 4th grade. He picked me up. He threw me in a trash can. Everybody was like in recess. The teachers were distracted. He threw me in a trash can. And worst part was that it was on the way. Like it was by the gate where you leave recess.
Yo, welcome to TIMS Bros Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, and tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and on TikTok. I am here with my co-host, Dino.
What up, what up?
AKA also known as my assistant, the best coffee maker in the business.
Facts. It's facts.
And we're excited. We're about to have a really, really good show. All right.
I'm really excited because I don't know if you know, but I just barely met him like 5 minutes ago. I know you guys known each other for a while.
Yeah.
I've had video calls with him.
Yeah.
Been on FaceTime with him and stuff, but this is my first time actually meeting him in person.
Yeah, he's a lot shorter than what you expected.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No, I'm kidding. This is our very first podcast. We are super excited. We honestly, this has been something that we've talked about for a really long time.
For months, yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do this for years. Just haven't had the opportunity to do it, and now it's a reality. We talked about it a couple of months ago, and we kind of ironed out all the details and got it going, and now we are at our first podcast.
Here we are.
This is crazy. Yeah, this is very innovative. We have some awesome soundboard sound effects. I will say this to start off. About 20% of everything that I say is probably going to be a lie. So it's up to you to figure out what is truth and what is a lie. So I'm just going to go ahead and let people know that I'm very obviously sarcastic with my humor. So I'm just going to get that out there so people know. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's bring him out.
I know our first guest is going to be the one and only Julio Gomez. Let's get Julio Gomez out here real quick. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whoa. We got some people that aren't too fun. Your headphones are there if you wanna throw those on. So when we started the podcast, or we started thinking about what we were gonna do with the podcast, I was like, all right, cool. I need to have somebody that I'm cool with, somebody that I know that we could have a lot of fun on the show. But also, I was like, you know what? If we start with Julio, there's only one way, and that way is up. So I'm literally scraping the barrel. I'm getting the person that nobody knows. No, I'm kidding. But no, for real. I wanted it to be just loose. And one thing about Julio is that he's actually a really, really funny guy. The thing is that a lot of people at the beginning don't really know. They don't really know who you are because this is you, right? Like this is.
Are you blind?
Yeah.
You blind?
No.
No. Okay.
Oh yeah. That's other shit.
And I also just remembered.
Yeah. People are gonna be like, wait,
just
hold on,
remembered I had him on. By the way.
But this is him. But you're like an introverted extrovert. Is that right?
Yeah. It's extremely right. I like being around people, but at the same time, I like staying at home and in my mind just keeping to myself. But then again, I start missing people. So
yeah.
So like you guys kind of get on my nerves every once in a while, but there's times where I gotta hang out with you guys.
Yeah. No, I mean I think you do it for clout, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later in our podcast.
Oh, Julio, come on now.
No, dude. No, we're honestly. I know. All jokes aside, we are actually really excited to have you be our first guest. And, it's just people wanting to kind of get to know you, your career, what you do outside of music, and all that good stuff. So, I mean, how'd you get your start?
There's a 20% lie. He said people just want to get to know you. Ain't nobody trying to get to know me, man.
Determined that was a lie.
All right, so maybe I started off with a lie, but once again, I don't know. People, you have to decide whether I'm lying or not. But no, for real. I mean, honestly, Julio's somebody that I actually like. We actually hang out. We play a lot of Call of Duty together. You're not just like an artist that I work with, but you're actually I consider you as a friend. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, "You gonna cry. You gonna cry in the car."
Yeah. Start running like this.
How did you? I'm actually interested. I'm sorry to
No, yeah,
answer
you're
this
good.
question, but how did you guys meet? Because you're from
I'm from Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a mutual friend, and I reached out to him and I told him, hey, I've been singing my whole life. I've been doing this music stuff, and I want to put something out. I want to either do an EP or a full album or just a single, but I want to do something. I was kind of just tired of just sitting by and just seeing all these people, fulfill their dreams, their goals and everything, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to know what it felt like. So I reached out to this mutual friend, and I asked him, like, hey, how did you start? And luckily, that mutual friend, he introduced me to Tim, and he told me, hey, call this guy. I already told him you're gonna call him, and he'd be willing to work with you. And I called Tim, and he told me, yeah, let's get going. We scheduled a business meeting, and that business meeting was probably the worst business meeting of my entire life.
This was the best. Okay, so for the people that don't know, right? I'm obviously a record producer, mixing engineer, right? That's what I do for a living. And I get this phone call from this guy, and I was warned about it, right? They were like, hey, this guy's gonna call us. He's gonna call you, and he's gonna want more information, like just regarding how your pricing and just details and all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Normal calls, people call you and they're like, oh, hey, I've heard a lot about you and like this and that. And they might ask, like your process on how you do things, how much do you charge? When can we start scheduling, whatever. That's what normal people do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Normal people.
Normal people, okay?
Julio ain't normal.
Julio was the complete opposite. I get this phone call and I'm like, hello? He's like, hello?
Okay, that's 20% lie.
Yeah, no, and I'm like, all right, this is already starting off. Like I could tell, like, oh my gosh, this guy sounds like a serial killer. And I'm like, okay, I was like, yeah, hello? He's like, is this what did you say? Did you say is this Tim or what did you say?
I asked if this was Tim, bro.
Yeah.
Is this Tim, bro?
Is this Mr. Tim, bro?
Did you say Mr. Tim, bro?
He threw the Mr. in the front of it, and I was like,
I didn't say Mr., but I said, is this Tim, bro?
I think that's a lie.
That's definitely a lie. Definitely a lie.
Don't make me bust out Maury real quick because we will bust him out. But yeah, so he was like, yeah, Mr. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this guy, there's something weird happening with this guy. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, so like, what can I do for you? And he's just like, yeah, I got your number from so-and-so and I wanted to work with you. And, this and this and this. Like the last time I did music, it was like back in like 1995. And no,
yeah, when I was 0.
When I was in my mother's womb. But yeah, so I was just like, okay, cool, yeah, man. But it was like super awkward. Like the tension was like really weird. I'm like, okay, this guy, there's something wrong with this guy. He has an extra chromosome somewhere. It's running around in there. I just don't know where.
And I can explain why I was so nervous. So our mutual friend gave me the number, and he told me, look him up on Instagram. He's the real deal. So as I dial your number, I look you up on Instagram on my wife's phone.
Yeah.
And when I scroll down, I see...
Why your wife's phone? You didn't have your own phone?
Well,
he was calling me on. He was calling me. Yeah, he was
while
calling
him. You were looking him up.
So he's calling me, and he's doing it at the same time.
So I see like, okay, Tim Anzaldua from Dallas, Texas, or DFW area, and I start scrolling down. I say, okay, yeah, he's recording. Then I say, oh, Marcos Barrientos, okay, and then I see Tercer Cielo. I'm like, oh man. And then I see Ingrid Rosario, who's like someone I look up to, and I'm just like, oh. And as I took that big old inhale, he answered. And I was just like, oh, I really wish he wouldn't have answered now. And that's why I was so nervous.
It sounded like somebody had literally punched him in the stomach. Like legit. Like
and what came out was, is this Mr. Tim, bro?
Man, that's literally what it was.
It was literally like that. And so I'm like, yeah. So, we start talking, and it's very like, when a conversation is awkward when somebody just gives you one-liners.
Oh, yeah,
like,
that's the worst.
Like when you go up to somebody and you're like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, good. Oh, okay, so all right. And then you like trying to get stuff out of them. So I'm trying to get like just info because that's my job. Like try to figure out. Okay, cool. How many songs do you want to do? I think I want to do like 5. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So it's like super awkward, dude. It was like really, really awkward. So I'm thinking this guy is really weird, but you know what? Let's do it, right? So we end up doing. I typically do a business meeting, a creative meeting with the artists, right? Like we'll sit down and we'll be like, hey, let's talk about what you want to do, how do you want to do it, when do you want it to come out, all the detail stuff, right? Like those conversations, like that phone call is just like surface level. Now we're talking like, okay, let's dive in deeper. So Karla's obviously my manager, right? So she comes along in those meetings a lot of the times. And he had invited us to Hibachi. So I'm like, oh, dude, dope. Let's go to Hibachi. Let's do our thing. See some cool, eggs flipping and doing all this crazy stuff while we have our awesome business meeting. But I'm going in there like, oh, my God, this guy's kind of awkward. So let's see how this goes. And so I was mentally preparing myself already for it. But I'm like, nah, you know what? Maybe he'll loosen up and we'll meet in person. It's all good, right? So we get there. And the funniest part was, we get there, his wife walks in, and then you walk in with the carrier, right? Yeah. So his wife, like, she's a little bit more extroverted, and so she comes up, she's like, oh, hi. I'm like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, no, and actually I'm missing a part. They had showed up to the wrong Hibachi place. So
were you that nervous?
Yeah.
You were
look, it's because I sent him the address to one Hibachi, and at the same time, I was looking up another one, distinguishing which one would be better. Yeah. So I locked my phone, went to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, we got ready for Hibachi, and I went to the one that I had looked up, not the one that I had sent Tim. And that's one thing about me. Like, I just, everywhere I go, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, I'm always 15 or 10 minutes early. That's just my thing. Like,
you showed up 20 minutes late today, though, bro. That's a lie.
You a lie. You a lie.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
I'll tell you the truth. I showed up 20 minutes early today. And
no, you were 30 minutes early.
Dehydrated with his mouth sticking out of his window because he had no AC.
Thanks, Karla.
Karla went to the store. Dino was stuck outside. It's 120 degrees outside right now in Texas.
AC's not working.
That don't know. His AC's not working.
I pulled up, bro. I had a crowbar. I wanted to break the window.
I saw Julio's smoking Civic coming.
Dino's laying down, like all passed out.
Water.
SpongeBob. In the arms of an angel.
I was debating on eating on your porch, bro. And the little table was like, nah.
That little picnic table you got?
Yeah.
No, so that's what happened. I was late.
They did show up late. It wasn't too bad, but I'm used to it. Like my mom, she was always, shout out to if she even watches this, right? But she's like our one viewer that actually watches the show. But shout out to my mom.
I love you, Mom.
She always trained us to she trained us. It sounds like she's like Kim Jong-un, like beat us with the stick. You show up early, little boy. You understand me? Man. You get there late and you're getting beat up. No.
You ain't first, you're last.
Yeah. So, no, and she always, she instilled in us, be early. On time is late, right? So we show up early. We show up early all the time. We try to, right?
Yeah.
And we're there. Like I said, they walk in, and here comes Carly, and I meet her. She, oh, hi, how's it going? Oh, hey, how's it going? Hey, she meets Karla, whatever. This guy walks in, and he's just like, what's up? Doesn't shake anybody's hand. I'm like, oh, yeah.
You were scared? Were you scared?
I had already been thrown off because of the fact that I was late.
Yeah.
And that threw me off.
Yeah, he was nervous. Karla was there.
Yeah.
He was nervous. And because the first phone call, he was already nervous. Shows up late. And so now that just makes it even worse. And now he's meeting me in person, and everybody always tells me the same thing. Oh, you're a lot taller in person and stuff. And I know I'm an intimidating guy. I get it. I understand. And so barely. And so and so it was hilarious because I'm like, okay, this guy is like super mad awkward, and now I'm like gonna work with this guy, and how do hopefully he's not like this. I'm like, there's no way he's like, there's no way, right? So then we go. And, the dude is literally doing all these freaking tricks. He's got freaking swords and chopping eggs in half. And he's doing all these crazy, this voodoo magic stuff, right? Fire's coming out and everything. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. Nobody is talking. Nobody is saying anything, bro. Like literally, I'm like turning to Karla like, yeah. So, did you leave the stove on at home? Like, is it off? Like, is the AC? Is it good? Everything's good. Did we pay all our bills? Like, are we good? Right? And so we're literally having like our own conversation, and homeboy's over there just like looks like something from like The Exorcist in like the corner, and he's just like, God. Super cringe.
Both you and your wife?
No, but that's the thing. His wife was talking a little bit more.
Yeah, my wife and Karla were having like decent conversation.
So it was good, and I'm doing the whole like trying to get stuff out of him, right? I'm doing the whole like, yeah. So Julio, what do you like to do for fun? I don't know. I mean, yeah. And I'm just like, oh man,
I
like to read my Bible.
That's sort of an exaggeration.
I like to read my Bible and
attend church camp.
Church camp. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so check this out, right? So we end up, the whole thing, right? Yeah. Like the guy's like literally flinging eggs into our mouths. Like, I'm not even kidding, right? He was or was it meat? I can't remember what it was. He was throwing stuff and we're like all catching it and stuff or whatever. And then he ends up like saying like, open your mouth. And he was going to squirt something in our mouths. And I'm like, bro, I don't know where that's been. I don't know what the heck that is. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Yeah. Goes to Karla. Karla's like, nah, I'm good. Goes to Carly, nah, I'm good. Goes to Elena, his little daughter, she's like, nah, I'm good too, right? then he goes to him and, like, mind you, super introverted, and then all of a sudden he becomes an extrovert. He's like, yeah, I'm good, like, yeah. And so,
oh my
right?
God.
And so the guy,
I thought it was just water. Like
we all thought it was.
It
I didn't know what it was.
Mouth.
He drowned it in his mouth, like filled up his whole mouth, and he's like, and I saw his face, like, what? Dude, it's water. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
It was not water.
What was it?
Let's just say it was not water.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was tequila. But no. So yeah, and he was like,
the best part is that I didn't make a face.
No, yeah. It was for all my churchgoers. I'm sorry to say this. It was alcohol. He did not know. Okay, he was trying to spit it out, but he didn't want. We thought it was all of us thought it was water. So if he would have spit it out, we'd be like, okay, this guy's a weirdo. Yeah. First you do this, then you do this, then you do, and now you want to spit water. Like, come on, man, like that, Yeah. So he, like a champ, I'll give it to him. He drank it, and he was just like, and then when the guy left, he's like, that was pure alcohol, man. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? He's like, yeah, that was crazy. Okay,
you're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that
guy. Yeah, he's not. He was already over there like.
I was like Dino dehydrated a while ago.
Yeah, he was all passed out, like couldn't breathe and everything. We had to resuscitate him. So legit. After all of that, okay, he finally cuts up all the meat, all the shrimp, and everything. And he distributes it to everybody.
And note this is probably the worst part of everything because I literally think about that and I'm just like, man, I don't know why I did this.
Till today we make jokes.
Yeah, till today we make jokes.
Anytime I see him with his daughter, I say the same thing. He legit, the guy just cut it off of the stove, puts it onto the plate.
Yeah. He
literally is like, engaged in our conversation, he grabs the piece of meat and shoves it into his
hold on. Yeah, hold up.
No.
So I picked it up. She's sitting on my lap, right? I picked it up. I squeezed it to make sure if it was hot or if it was cold. I squeezed it and I felt it scorching hot.
You're making this worst case for you, man. I actually made it.
Dad.
I made it better.
I squeezed it.
I literally made this better for you, and you just made it worse. How did you possibly make that worse? So it's scorching hot, basically, right? And he shoves it in her mouth. I don't see this. I'm oblivious to this. And she just randomly starts like screaming, like somebody just stabbed her, right? And I remember Karla and we're just looking like, okay, this baby, she's 6 months at that time,
yeah,
right?
she was 6 months.
And we're like, why? Yeah, 6 months, dude. Yeah, giving her full pieces of, wagyu, what is it called? The steak or whatever. Like, yeah. No, but literally shoves it in her mouth. She starts crying bloody murder, right? And we're all like, what the heck? And he's just like, and we don't know. So I found that out way after the fact. So
Tim was like, what's wrong? And I didn't know what to say. I was like, she's just sleepy.
Not knowing she's got third degree burns in her mouth. So literally, this is not even the best part. So if you guys are watching, there's still way more to this story. So keep listening. I promise you it gets even better. So after that, okay, after all of that, we finally start talking, and he starts to loosen up. Maybe it was the alcohol that accidentally got shoved down his throat.
Maybe.
maybe not.
Maybe it was the fact that I burned my daughter and I thought it couldn't get any worse. But
Oh, it definitely got worse.
it got so much
It got worse.
It got worse, or as my cousin always says, it got worser. Okay, that's not even a word.
Worser.
It got worser. So check this out. Then we finally get through conversation. We have our creative meeting. He loosens up. Everything is finally going uphill, and I start seeing the better side of Julio, where I'm like, oh, this is the Julio that I know, right? We're good. Totally fine. And and it comes to the check, right? So he had invited us,
God.
and he's like, yo, I got you guys, whatever. Oh, okay, cool, The guy comes, the lady comes with the check, puts it down, and he opens it, puts his credit card in there, right? You put your credit card in there. She goes back. And we're having more conversation. She comes back to the table, and she does the most embarrassing thing any waiter could possibly say in front of a group of people, which is, "Sir, your card got declined."
And
so
she
he's
said
like,
it so loud, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it was empty though. Like we were like the only people there.
I'm pretty
having
sure the
hibachi.
people in the next restaurant heard that.
People getting their hair cut down the street were like, "Wait, what?" Like legit. I cannot make this up.
This was Julio.
He was longest soundbite ever. Hold up. Wait. So legit, I cannot make that up. She says that, and Karla and I just look at each other like, oh my God, what? And he's like, bro, I don't have cash. I don't have anything else. Can you guys get this? It was like $110
Dude, I bet
bill.
you felt like crap.
Dude, I did, bro. Because
That was like the cherry.
First of all, I blew my phone call.
You were late.
I was late.
You burned your
I
daughter's
burned my
mouth.
daughter. I drank alcohol. And now I had to ask, they were going to offer to pay for it. And I said, no. I invited you guys. I'm going to pay for it. And
Even
now
though I don't have no money, but I'm going to pay for it, though.
And now I had to ask them, bro. Hey, can y'all get me, my wife, and my daughter? Because my card got declined.
Yeah. So, no joke. I'm like, oh my gosh. All right. Now I'm having to pay and this bill is like $110, right? It is a fat bill.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, I got it, bro. So I end up putting my credit card and, it goes through. The lady's like, wow, you have tremendous funds in your bank account. You are totally fine. And I was like, you see, Julio, this is what happens. So, so I literally, pay the bill, whatever. And then, we're leaving the restaurant and stuff. And that was the end of it. The first thing we say in the car was, man, that was mad awkward. Like everything that could have possibly. I've never had an awkward
I got in
meeting.
my car, bro. I got in my car.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, yeah.
I got in my car and I looked at Carly and I swear, I think this is the first time I say it out loud, I almost cried. Because I literally, I got in and I was like, there's no way in heck that dude is ever calling me back.
Oh, my.
Did you
we
feel
are
like,
never
man,
conversating again.
I have to work with this dude now.
Yeah. So the thing is, I always try to see the best in people. I really do. Yeah. And maybe that's the lie. Maybe that's the 20% of me lying.
That you figured out. You figured out.
Yeah. So I legit was like, nah, I see potential in him, and he seems like a great guy. Maybe he's just really nervous. I got to give him a shot. I give everybody a shot. When we work together, if we don't have that chemistry, I'm like, hey, you know what? It was a good run. Whatever. If we have great chemistry, your family, like we're about to make fire music together, right? Yeah. And he was really mad awkward. We left. We came back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to work with this guy. Hopefully it gets better. He comes over. We work on the first song. I remember we work on the first song, and I don't think anything went awkward, right?
No, I was still a little nervous, but I kind of just told myself, you know what? Just this is the number one thing I told myself: make jokes. Just make jokes.
Yeah, and I noticed he was a lot funnier. And I was like, oh, this guy's actually really funny. And for me, I think I have a pretty good sense of humor. And I know when somebody else does too. And when he started coming out with like certain jokes, I'm like, this guy's actually really funny. Like he seems like a good guy. So we work on the first song. Well, we didn't know we had something in common, which is video games. Like, I love to de-stress. I work Monday through Sunday. Dino knows. He's my assistant. He works for you guys that don't know. Dino, he works for me, and he does all of my. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Too kind.
After that, he just got fired. You're out of here. No, Warzone it. Yeah.
To the gulag.
To the gulag. You got to fight your way now. You want to get back in this place? You got to fight your way. I got 3 more assistants outside there that want to come and work for me. No, and so anyway, where was I going with that?
Video games.
Oh yeah. So obviously, he's my assistant and works closely with me and whatnot. No, there was something I was going to say about that. Now, before I was making another point and then trying to come back to the video games.
We were saying that we had a mutual thing in common.
Oh yeah, we had which was video games.
Yeah,
and and it was you had said, I think that I play COD with my cousins, and I was like, I play COD with my boys. And I think this was before I had you as an assistant. Yeah. It was a little bit before, right?
I think so.
So, and I was like, we play COD. And I'm thinking like, oh man, like this guy's gonna want to join up, and I just hope he's not like really awkward. Yeah, I hope he's not awkward. Like I hope he's just like,
I hope he's good.
Yeah, first off, I hope he's good. That still has yet to change.
Wow,
we're like a year in. This guy's still at the bottom.
This is all you hear.
Yo, just letting y'all know, I don't play to be good.
I play to have fun.
I play to have fun, man.
Okay. Yeah, understandable. And so. He joined up one day, and then that's when I knew we were going to have a bromance. Because he jumped on, and he was himself with all my buddies and my brother, and he had us laughing. He was totally normal, and I'm like, this is the Julio that I was expecting to see, like right off
finally
the
rip.
True
colors.
The true colors came out, and he was actually super funny. So then it's just kind of a plus of like, oh, cool, we get to work together, we play COD together. And we legit are friends together. So that was really cool for sure. So,
yeah. So I play a lot of video games. By the way, if anybody's watching this, don't play video games. They're bad for you.
Yeah.
But,
that's the point that I was gonna make. This is me just I know I look 22, but I'm actually I'm actually 31, and my brain works at like 1%. I know we use like 10% of our brains, but I got a lot of brain damage. So I got hit with a baseball bat when I was younger. I got into a fight.
Or is it from being taken down in jiu-jitsu class?
Hey, let's not talk about my jiu-jitsu classes, okay?
Okay.
I will put you in a rear naked choke right now, choke you out in front of all of our one viewer.
Let me go get Maria.
If Maria's watching, you did not submit me, okay? I fell. And you happen to get your arm around my neck.
You let her win. You let her win.
Yeah.
Because it's 2021 and we have to.
But yeah, so I forget. But that was the point that I was gonna make. I legitimately play video games because for me it's a de-stressor. Like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't go out and party. Like I know there's people that's what they do to de-stress.
Yeah.
I do go to I don't go to the gym. I do a lot more workouts here, and I go running and I try to eat healthy and all that good stuff. But I need something that's like that can de-stress me. So I've been doing jujitsu, which has been amazing. And then also it's video games. And so shout out to Jose if he's watching. But Jose, you remember this, babe? There was one time that we went to the Aliento conference, and he's literally telling Karla, he's like, you got to tell him, stop playing video games. Like, that's such a waste of time. Like, he's a very business-minded guy. He was my mentor in the business that I do now. And he's like, dude, it's such a waste of time. Now that dude is playing with us, and he plays every night because he sees like, yo, this is legit. This is how you can de-stress. Like, just have fun with the boys. Like, you live in Arkansas. You live in San Antonio. We can't hang out all the time. Boog, who plays with us, is literally right down the street, and I don't even see the guy. But we play video games. All the time, and that's how we see each other. Like that's how we get to like bond and have fun.
And it's not that we're doing our normal daily things. We're waking up early. We're doing our chores. We're doing our work.
Exactly.
we need
burning our
that-
daughters' mouths, you know.
burning our daughters,
Being a really terrible dad.
being awkward as heck.
If CPS is watching this, all right,
God.
his name is Julio Gomez. He was born in no.
Social security number 7. But like we do all these things, and we just need that time to just play video games and just kind of like just escape for just a little bit.
But
I mean,
a lot of women don't understand that. I know, like your wife, my wife, Karla didn't understand. We used to get in. We used to get in fights. Do you remember that? Yeah. One time she actually physically beat me. That's part of why I have
Didn't
brain
she
damage.
cut your power cord too?
She did. She cut it. So there was one. She cut it. She gave me a good 1-2. I fell to the ground and had to go to church in sunglasses so nobody would ask me why I had a black eye. No, but we used to get in like actual fights.
Tim was playing the guitar like this.
Like, exactly like that. People are like, hey, who's Ray Charles up there? Like, what is he doing? But no, I mean, we used to get in like fights about it, and I would try to like make her understand, like, yo, this is how we de-stress.
Yeah.
You know, like I create all day. I make music all day for a living, and I have to use, what side of the brain is that? Left brain or whatever. I use that all day long, and now I just want to get on and have fun and be with the boys without being with the boys. Like it's just simple as that.
Yeah. So for example, for you and Boog, 70% of y'all's mentality when y'all play is to get your KD up. 70% of my mentality is just have good conversations with the boys.
It's okay. In my defense, I'm a competitive person. I grew up with 2 older brothers who would absolutely beat the snot out of me. Part of why I have brain damage. And then my sister, part of why I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because she would literally hold me down and just pound on me. And my older brothers would do the same thing. And we're just a competitive family. Super. Yeah. And my son is the same way. It's really bad. Like, you've heard it
yesterday.
He's 5 and he's playing with my nephew and he's like, oh, y'all are trash. Y'all are so bad. Like, I'm like, yo, you got to chill, bro. Like, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I know you hear me say that, but don't do as I say. Be a better man. Be a better man than me. But, you know, that's the thing is it is such a de-stressor for us. But for me, being competitive, like I compete, I'm going to compete in jiu-jitsu. And that helps me with my mental health.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm 31, and it's something that I need, you know? And then also with the video games, it's the same thing. And so, like, I know for you, a lot of people don't know that you also, you pastor, you're an artist, and you're a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah. And it sounds funny. And it sounds funny, but I literally consider myself a stay-at-home mom. And then they say, well, you're a stay-at-home dad. I'm like, no. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like,
Get it right. This is 2021, man. Get it right. I identify as a...
No, but like I literally tell them, like, no, like I have a schedule for my daughter. We wake up at this time, snack, lunch, nap, wake up. You know, my wife comes home, we go out, come home, video games. That's just the way it is. And I pastor a small church, and I'm doing this artist stuff on the side, and it all just kind of like I mean, we all have those days where it's just everything is just crashing down on us, and we just need a little space just to get rid of some of these, you know, these, what do you call it, like emotions, I guess, just to release a little bit into the video game. Yeah. And, you know, we just all need it, everyone.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, because I mean, video games, it's categorized as like, you hear the word video games and people think like, oh, you're lazy. Oh, you're just on the couch all day. Or, you know, because on the flip side, there's professionals that get paid to play video, and they're good at it.
No, I mean, there's like 17-year-old kids that are competing in those matches, and they're making millions of dollars.
But like in this case, like you're a pastor, you know, you're a dad, you're a husband, you know, same thing with you, Timbro. And I mean, but I could understand from a standpoint if your wife is getting after you because you just sit on the couch all day and you play video games, and you're not working to do it professionally. Yeah, that's different because now you're giving your wife a reason, or your girl a reason to come in. Like, why don't you do anything?
That's my thing. So like, if I notice that I haven't spent time with my wife all day, then I'll text the guys and I'll say, hey, I won't be on today. I won't tell them why because they all clown at me.
Yeah, we do.
But I either tell them I'm not getting on, and I'll say something like, you know, I'm out of town,
or he'll say, hey guys, I'm just not feeling it tonight, man.
I'm not feeling it tonight. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I get what you
mean.
You
got some Ellen Keller in the
and then we hear Julio getting beat with the flip flop.
And we're like, oh, he's like,
no. And the best part about it is that back home, I actually we live sort of out like on the outside of town, and you walk about 30 yards, you know, like back of my house, and I have this little shed, and my dad transformed it into a full room. You know, it has insulation, it has AC, it has
Little man cave going on
everything.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm back there. I can be as loud as I want. I can yell as loud as I want. I can yell whatever I want. I can literally do anything, and I don't disturb my daughter and my wife anymore.
But I was gonna ask you. So, what else do you do? Maybe on the side, or like, is there anything else that you do for your mental health? I mean, once again, because you're around people all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're with your daughter, but then on the weekends you're at church, and then you play in front of a bunch of people whenever you're doing your artistry. So like, what do you do to de-stress other than play video games?
And it's really been hard, because of COVID. But before COVID, I used to love going to the theater at least once a week.
Really?
Watch a movie, even if it's a movie I've already seen.
What's your okay? I think we've gone over this. What's your
Yeah.
top 3 movies of all time?
Okay, top 3 movies of all time. Let's do this. Number
Actually,
one.
let's go through everybody top 3 movies.
Okay. I would have to choose number 1 to be 2012 Avengers.
Okay.
Number 2.
That's your number 1.
That's my number
of
1.
all time.
Yeah, all time.
Okay. All right.
Number 2 would be Hereditary, 2018 horror movie.
You told me about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you have yet to see it, so
I
whatever.
still have.
Anyways,
I'm such a
and
bad
then-
friend.
And number 3 would have to be a movie called The Departed.
Oh yeah, The Departed is great, man. Leonardo
Yeah. I
DiCaprio.
think
That's
The
my,
Deported?
The
Departed.
Departed.
No, that's
That's
the reboot.
That's that Bollywood version.
Yeah, that's a different version, man. That's a different version. Okay, so those are your top 3. Departed is great, man.
I think-
have you watched it?
No.
You've never
have
watched
never
it. Oh
watched
my
that.
god.
Who's in it?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Everybody.
Yeah, literally
everybody
everybody.
with the Detroit accent.
Jack Nicholson, right? And
Yeah, Jack
Matt,
Nicholson.
Is Matt Damon?
Matt Damon's
yeah,
in
Matt
it.
Damon. Yeah, he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I just spoiled that. Sorry.
Wow.
But yeah,
Man,
no, that
yeah,
movie,
there's-
dude. Leonardo DiCaprio, like him, any movie that he's
Mark
in.
Wahlberg is in it.
Oh yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
Mark
That's
Wahlberg
right, I
is a
forgot.
G in that movie.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Gotcha.
Great movie. Great movie. What about you, Dino?
Man,
top
top 3.
I know it's kind of on the spot.
It
too.
is on the spot, but I'll give you. Okay, I don't know. They're not in order, but I'll say I have to go with The Warriors.
The Warriors.
The
Oh,
Warriors?
is that the one? Warriors.
Yeah. That one.
It's
It's a classic, old school.
Okay.
Man, The Revenant.
That one's great.
That one's
Leonardo
a
again,
Revenant.
man. He's making all top
and
threes.
then I like Four Brothers, bro. Four Brothers.
Four
That's
Brothers
That's
is
a
good.
really good.
That was a
movie,
great
man.
movie.
Really,
Great movie. Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, Four Brothers is one of those movies again that just has like a top stellar cast. Like everybody in that movie is perfectly cast, and it just
That's
fits perfectly.
that's a really good movie. I would say top 3, man. That's really hard. I definitely got to go with Tombstone. That obviously I love westerns only because of my dad. My dad is super into western movies. He's a cowboy at heart. So we grew up watching Tombstone. I can quote the whole movie. So Tombstone is definitely up in my top 3. Scarface is definitely, that's such a G movie. I absolutely love that movie. I used to watch it every single day when I came home from school.
That's why he's so angry on
That's
pod.
why, bro. This is why I have mental health issues, guys. Do not watch Scarface every single day.
As a kid.
As a kid growing up. All right, don't do it.
And parents, if you're listening, do not show your kids
yeah,
Scarface.
Yeah, don't do that. Please don't do that. I would say for sure Scarface, and then I would probably say the 10 Commandments. No, that's a
The
lie.
Passion of the Christ. Okay. Close enough.
That was a lie.
The Prince of Egypt, the little
Prince of
cartoon
Egypt.
one.
Oh my god, the worst one, part 2. Nobody ever saw that one. No, I would say probably. Oh man, that's hard. I would probably have to say one of the Dark Knights. I'd probably say the Dark Knight, the
that's
second
a
one,
really good one,
only
yeah.
because I've always been a Batman fan, and even though movies wise, I think everybody is an Avenger fan, right? Like it's like Marvel and all that good stuff, and I agree. Except Zack Snyder's cut of
Justice League.
Justice League.
Yeah.
I loved it. I know you didn't like it, right?
No, I liked it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought you
loved
said you
it.
didn't like it.
No,
Who
I-
was it
I
that told
loved
me
it.
that? I can't remember that.
I'm not sure.
Let's flip it. Favorite comedy movie. Just one.
Oh, godly. One?
And if not favorite, you pick one.
You're talking one?
Just pick
Oh,
one.
that's
Just pick
hard,
one.
bro.
It doesn't have to be your favorite. Okay, it doesn't have to be your favorite.
I grew up on comedies. I no. Look, the thing is, I grew up on comedies big time because I absolutely loved Jim Carrey growing up. He was my favorite. Jim Carrey, anything him and Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
Those
for
two
sure.
were by far
Adam
like,
Sandler before 2002.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I could see that.
yeah.
I could see that. But no, I would say for sure, man, that's just hard. Doing
If I just pick, I had to pick Dumb and Dumber, man. To me,
Dumb
I can
and
watch,
Dumber.
you can
for
watch
sure.
that over
for
and
sure.
over and
for
over.
sure. Even the remake that they did.
I didn't- I
I'm not
never-
talking like the second or third one that they, or however many. It was the next one that they did and that they were older.
Yeah.
That one was, dude. There was some scene. I remember Karla and I watched it, and oh my god, there was that one scene where where they have the beers and stuff. They're like, hey, watch this, and they put all they fill up the whole like
Never seen
cups
it.
of their beers. You had never seen it?
Nah.
Oh, you know what? I won't even ruin that. Just
We're
go
gonna-
watch
Hey
it.
guys, for the rest of the podcast, we're gonna watch movies.
Yeah, I know, right? We're trying to get Dino up on game real quick because he's apparently you watched the original, but you haven't seen the newer one. That's crazy.
I heard it wasn't good.
No, I thought it was good. I thought it was
I
funny.
give it
mean,
like
it wasn't
a-
as good.
Oh,
It wasn't
I gotta
as
check
good
it
as
out.
the first
Yeah,
one.
I gotta
I
check
mean,
it
nothing will ever be as good as the original.
It's like Ace
you know.
Ventura. Ace Ventura. The first one was amazing. The second one was.
I've
was
never
was funny.
seen it.
Wait, you've never seen?
Ace
You
Ventura.
brought up comedy.
Okay, I'm gonna request this. I need my own soundboard because you know what? You're canceled. You're done. Yeah, you're done. You're done. I need all the soundboard stuff right here the entire time because you're canceled.
You need to watch Pet Detective.
Yeah,
Ventura.
dude, it's classic, bro. That is like the most classic.
And then-
That's the movie you pick?
I don't know if that's the top one.
I mean,
that one's
okay,
good,
that'd be
though.
tough.
That's
That
probably
one's
not
good.
the
There
top
is a
one's
lot of
good, though.
comedies, but
But look, Pet Detective was such a phenomenal movie, and when they did the second one, it was great. The problem was that it was already lacking most of the cast. So in the second one, the only person that really comes back is Jim Carrey. So you miss everybody else, but it's still a great movie on its own, you know. But it's just a phenomenal.
but
movie.
if you had to pick one, what are you picking?
I think I would go with comedy movie. Man, I honestly think I would go with, and this might be a controversial decision,
VeggieTales?
but
Hey, it's pretty funny, man.
I think I might have to go with the first Hangover.
Wow, of all time.
Yeah,
Of
that's just
all
my
time.
personal
It's a
opinion.
little shocking, but I mean,
I mean that's hard. Anything, like I said, anything Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler,
Yeah.
because I grew up in that era, and they're like I
Big
said,
Daddy. I would say Big Daddy's
yeah.
up there.
But see,
Good
I
one.
think that
Another
one's
good one.
great. But I would probably go with like Adam Sandler. Okay, if I can do it by actor, Robin Williams is Mrs. Doubtfire, hands down.
okay.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
Second, going with Jim Carrey, I think his best one was maybe Ace Ventura. I think that was by far probably one of the funniest ones
Yeah.
for me, unless I'm missing one. Adam Sandler, I would say probably Billy Madison or Waterboy. I don't know. That's really hard.
Over
I think-
Happy Gilmore?
Oh gosh, Happy Gilmore. I forgot about that one. That one's good, dude. That one's really
Mr.
good.
Gilmore, I'm your caddy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a classic. But if I had like gunpoint, someone has a gun to my head, I have to answer right now or it's over. It's
What kind of
done.
gun?
What kind of gun are we
Yeah,
talking
okay.
about? Are we talking about a BB gun or? I would probably have to say Adam Sandler. Yeah, I would probably have to go with which one did I say? Not
You said Waterboy?
Waterboy. No,
Billy Madison?
Billy Madison. I probably have to say Billy Madison. I watched that one so much, and I can quote that one. And he was just he was an idiot on that one. Like he was just like
The thing about it is, like, you mentioned Ace Ventura, you mentioned Billy Madison. Like, these two guys, Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler, they created the art of becoming those characters. You know,
Yeah.
like you can't,
Yeah.
when you think of Jim Carrey, you automatically think of, you know, the Cable Guy. You think
Yeah,
of
The Mask.
Ace Ventura, The Mask.
You
Like,
don't think of the Grinch, bro?
Mask.
the Grinch.
No, even the Grinch, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you have you seen what that interview that he was saying that it would take like 9 hours or something like that, or however many hours to put on the Grinch suit?
Wow.
And that he was going like insane, and he almost quit the movie
Yeah.
until like they brought in like an FBI guy or CIA or whatever, and they were like he picked up smoking, so he started smoking, and he was like, yeah, either smoke or punch yourself in the leg or turn on a TV, like do something different. And because those guys were like method actors, like Christian Bale, All right, this is why I love him, dude. The dude will go up to like 250 pounds
Yeah.
and go down to 180, then he'll go down to 135,
Yeah.
and he commits to his role.
And not only that, but there's 8 months. I'm over here starting. Spit it out. Spit it out.
Get it out. Get it out.
8 months.
Do we have a
before,
soundbite for that? we don't. Get it out. Come on.
8 months before he starts filming Batman Begins, the first Batman he was
Oh, yeah,
for.
yeah.
He did a movie called The Machinist.
Mm-hmm.
Super skinny, weighed 98 pounds. Jeez. 98 pounds, and then he bulked up to 180 to do Batman Begins in a matter of 6 months.
Yeah. He
6
said
months,
getting
man.
down, he would just eat like an apple.
Yeah,
And
he'd
that's
eat
it.
apple or crackers and cheese.
Crackers
That's
and
it.
cheese, and that was it.
All day, every day.
And he
to
lost
s-
so
yep.
much weight. Yeah.
And then whenever he was done with that movie, all he ate was pizzas, ice cream, and cheeseburgers just to
Gain it
get
all back.
get all that weight back.
Yeah. And let's get into this. Actually, like, what is some what are some what's your favorite era of music? What are your guys' favorite era of music? Because this ties in once again. Like, I listen to a lot of 70s music, a lot of 80s music, a lot of 60s, 90s, 2000s, and once again different genres to keep my ear fresh and tuned. I go through phases. Like, I was just in an 80s phase, and I listened to nothing but 80s. Like, I didn't listen to anything else other than 80s music. And then I'll, go into 70s, and I'll do that with that, and then I'll get into a punk rock phase. But what's your favorite era?
I think era, it has to be the 80s, man. Like, there's so much gold in there. For me, it has to be the 80s or late 70s. I mean, I was that's what my dad used to listen to.
Yeah.
So whenever I was growing up, he'd sort of just not made me listen to it, but he would listen to it, and then I would catch on.
Yeah.
And a lot of just listening to a lot of like Pink Floyd and just
Nice.
everything, man. Like, I remember the very first time I ever heard Another Brick in the Wall. It's a funny. I was 5 years old,
Oh,
and I remember my dad told me, he was like, "This is a song I used to listen to when I was young,
Yeah.
and when you get to when you're a teenager, you're gonna think back on this song." And I was
Right.
like, "Whatever, Dad. I only like I don't know what was hitting at that time. I can't remember, but I
Britney
was
Spears
no, I think it was
and-
Smash Mouth. I used to be into Smash Mouth a lot, so
Yeah.
I used to tell him, I'm never gonna listen to that, Dad, and now I'm like going back to all these 80s songs, and not only 80s English, classic rock, but I'm also listening to a lot of like 80s and 90s like Spanish. Basically, the music that my parents were listening to growing up is the music that I every now and then just keep going back to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love all genres of music. I can listen
For
to
sure.
Yeah.
reggaeton. I can listen to the soundtrack of the Lord of the Rings on repeat. I could listen to country music, Luke
Yeah.
Bryan. I
Nice.
could listen to anything, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I'd have to say,
That's good.
obviously, I'm a fan of all genres, but I have to say 90s and down because
Yeah.
from the point of like, man, back then you had to sing, you had to
Yeah.
play,
Oh,
you had to
yeah,
know
yeah,
your instruments.
exactly.
But if
Yeah.
you even look
Yeah.
at modern music now, like it's influenced from all that music.
Oh, absolutely.
When people started finding out like samples being taken, or you'll hear your favorite rapper say, "Hey, I was influenced from this artist in the '80s."
Oh, for
Everything
sure.
was influenced, and
For
so
sure,
for me,
for sure.
I have to say, like, at the end of the day, you still look up to those old cats.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, man. You have
They
to.
paved the way, and
Oh, yeah, you have to.
you'll hear a lot of their stuff in modern music nowadays, man. So anything '90s down, yeah, I had to say
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
But specifically 90s. Like, if you had to pick one era and that's all you could listen to.
I'd pick 80s.
So 80s.
Yeah, probably
Yeah?
say '80s.
Nice. I'd probably say if I had to choose, for sure 70s for me. And the only reason is because, once again, I go back to my dad. He definitely like introduced me to a lot of music. Like the reason why I got into music was he introduced me to like, Stevie Ray Vaughan, John Mayer, like a lot of these cats because I played guitar, and Eric Clapton and all these other guys. But he also introduced me to 70s music, and man, that era is insane. Especially as an engineer and as a producer. I mean, you're talking like guys that could legit play and legit sing and legit produce and legit songwrite. I mean, if you look at any of those songs, it's crazy. Those records are insane. And so for me, for sure, I got to stick with 70s music all the way if that's the only thing I can listen to. A lot of people get confused too. This is what happens. They'll think a 70s song is an 80s song. And they're like, oh, that's 80s. Like, that's Queen. And I'm like, no, that was in the 70s. They did that in the 70s. They didn't do that in the 80s. That's a 70s song. Or that Michael Jackson song wasn't an 80s song. That was a 70s song. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, man. Obviously, disco is really frowned upon, so I'm not really saying the disco era. I'm not saying that. But I am saying, there's a lot of good stuff like Chicago, for sure. Like we would listen to a lot of Chicago in at our house and stuff. And so, yeah, man, I got to go 70s all the way for sure. I just think, once again, everybody was a better musician and singer back in those days. Like it was just a lot better time.
Okay, let me ask you a question. This might sound weird, but I've asked a lot of people this.
Hey, we asked the question.
Yeah, we asked the questions here, right?
Okay.
You're the guest. Sit there and just do what I say. Okay, no, go.
Okay,
go
hold
for
on.
it, bro.
Let me go puke my guts out real quick. No, so this might sound like a weird question, but if aliens came to the planet,
Aliens
God,
don't
this guy
exist.
just
okay?
went
hold on.
totally.
If
All right, we're gonna go
aliens-
Joe Rogan real quick. So, how many of you guys believe in aliens? You believe in aliens?
Okay.
You believe in aliens?
So if aliens came to the planet,
Okay.
and said we're gonna destroy your planet unless
Yeah.
you show us a song that shows the beauty and human intelligence,
yeah, that's-
what song would it be?
What?
You want me to rephrase the question?
No, I'm just
aliens come.
You got to dumb it down like 20 IQ points for Dino.
Aliens
right?
come, they go bang bang, and let you show them song.
He's just an assistant, okay?
God.
Don't rag on him. Don't rag on him.
He only knows, like stuff like he only knows like mocha frappe and stuff.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
he
a
only
good
knows-
coffee maker.
He only knows black coffee with ice now. All right, that's all. So he knows the time and he knows what. All right. No, man, like if I had to show one song, see that's
If you had to show them one song in order to save the human race, and show them the human intelligence, the human beauty of
all right, I'm gonna throw it
music.
back on you. What would you pick?
Ya sé, la de Luis Miguel. la de-
Luis Miguel. I knew you.
Dang.
I'd pick Juan Gabriel. No.
Yeah. All right, we're all dead. That's it. Bye.
Yeah,
All
what?
right,
Okay,
I
yeah,
would-
flip it on him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reverse.
Reverse.
So it's
card.
like
Okay,
they, you
so
get
one song.
this pressure.
It would be Mexicano. No,
Oh my.
no.
God.
Okay, it would be "Stop This Train" by John Mayer.
I was gonna say the exact same. I swear
think.
on my life, this is not the 20% of me lying. I swear on my life, that is exactly what I was gonna say. Stop this train. I think that's such a
The
beautiful.
lie detector determined that was a lie.
Dino only knows that button, man. He only knows that button.
Man, I'd have to go honestly. I'd probably do Michael Jackson Earth Song.
Yeah. You know what? If we're gonna do that, I would probably say "We Are the World." There you go. You get a bunch of different artists. you get all of our. You get all of
You
our.
get a bunch of different artists. Cut out the Justin Bieber part.
I'm done. No, I'm talking about the old school. I'm talking,
the old one.
I'm talking
Oh, okay,
the
okay,
first
okay.
original one produced by Quincy Jones. That one definitely hands down. It would have every artist. We are the world. You get it? We are the world. Aliens come into our world. We're saying what's up. Now you know who we are.
That's a good one.
We are the world. And yeah, I would probably hands down say that one. It just popped into my brain, but yeah, I would have to go with "We Are the World." That one's definitely, man. That one's a good one.
Good.
That one's a really good one.
And then you said which one?
Michael Jackson Earth Song.
That song.
Yeah, Earth Song. Man, I see what you're doing there. That's clever. That's clever.
You like that? You like that? Yeah. Check it out. If you haven't heard it, listen to it. It's a really good
Yeah,
song.
I've heard it.
yeah.
The one where he
Sounds
starts.
good.
He's like, I heard it. Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah. He's like those typical people. I think that's
Bro,
always
y'all
hilarious.
want me to sing it to y'all?
Yeah.
I swear I've heard it. I know it.
And those people that you're always like, hey, did you watch that movie? Like, oh yeah. And then you're like, yeah, did you like that one part where this is? And they're like, oh yeah, that's my favorite. And you know they did not watch it or they did not hear it.
That's Julio?
That's Julio.
Oh, man.
That's Julio right there, bro. That's actually really, really funny. So, what do you have planned? Going back to your music, what do you have planned for this upcoming year? I know you're shooting a music video on Friday
Yes.
for a new single.
This Friday. By the time this airs, it will probably be long time ago. And the music video will probably be out by then. Should be.
Okay,
Nice.
nice.
So yeah, I'm shooting the music video, and sort of a personal goal that I have is I want to write 3 brand new songs by August.
Okay.
And it's going good. I have a lot written in my journal. The only issue I've had is that life has really come down on me a little hard.
Okay.
The past couple days.
What?
So
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You seem fine to us, man. What are you talking about? Why are you
so
lying, bro?
being in San Antonio, being in San Antonio this week with the family and everything, and just
You're getting erased for that one. That was perfectly timed, okay? I'm sorry. I can't move past that. That was perfectly timed.
I think the funniest part is that I was literally about to get into
I know.
some deep
You're about
stuff.
to get into deep stuff. About to tell everybody everything that's going on in your life, like the deepest part.
So it's been kind of a tricky month, and I haven't been able to finalize a song, but I've had some really good ideas. I've been meaning to get with you, with some other people, just about this whole songwriting process, and being able to have you guys teach me how to finalize stuff. But that's my goal, is to write 3 brand new songs by August. And that way, whenever I call you, we won't be like, oh, I have this one idea. I can come to you and be like, hey, this is a song. I need this out. Not only that, I have 2 other songs that I want to put out by the end of the year.
And you won't forget, your money or your wallet. You'll have everything.
No. I'll have my money. I'll have everything.
That's
Daddy
hilarious.
Biden should be hitting us up with another stim check.
Daddy
I think
Uncle
we'll get
Biden.
with that. Uncle Biden.
That's dope, man. That's really cool that
Awesome.
you're still coming out with more content. What do you find for most of these people that are out there watching that might be new artists? What's some advice that you would give them personally? What's something that's difficult or something that's easy? Something that, like, once again, if you had to go back and tell your younger self about being an artist, like you're choosing to be an artist, there's a lot of people that are probably going to watch this that are artists or they're producers or songwriters and they want to make it. What would you say to those people? Any type of advice?
Show up to the right restaurant for a business meeting.
Make sure
Show
you
up to
show
the
up
right
and don't be
restaurant.
awkward with your producer.
Well, I'm not, by saying this, I don't want to come off as, someone who knows what they're doing. I want to just give you guys 3 little quick things. And this is my personal advice to you guys. Number 1, it's okay to not know what you're doing. I mean, I'm 26 years old, about to be 27, and sometimes I'm sitting there and I realize I have no idea what I'm doing. Like I'm learning as I go. Learning, no matter at what age, is always okay.
For sure.
It's never frowned upon. You're never too old, never too young. If you want to do something, do it. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 is, in everything that we do, whether you're a pastor, whether you're a salesman, whether you're a music producer, whether you're an artist, you're always trying to sell something. If you're a pastor, you're trying to sell the gospel. You're trying to present, what we see. Like for me as a pastor, I have to try to present the gospel and sell it to them so that they may be able to want it. If you're an actor, you want to be able to sell the part and convince people that that's really you. That's not Jim Carrey. That's Ace Ventura in that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're a musician, you're trying to sell your music. You're trying to give them something that they like. So just fall in love with your product. That'd be number 2. Fall in love with what you do. Fall in love with your product, and just sell it. Be a business person about it. And then number 3 is probably one of the best advice that I've ever gotten from my dad is, no matter what area, what we do, no matter if you're in movies or music or normal desk job,
Ministry, anything like that, yeah.
The best thing that we could ever do to basically improve our daily lives is just make connections. Just be friends with people, because that person will, for example, and I know this might sound messed up, but it's the reality of it. So, if I connect with Tim and we become good friends, he'll connect me with,
No, it's true.
He'll connect me with Ingrid Rosario.
Yeah.
And then if I become friends with
wow,
her,
that was really
I
good.
like
a
how
big
you
old
snuck
jump,
that in
right?
he just threw that
I've mentioned
right
her
out
2
there.
times already.
I know.
So,
Low-key, shut up.
if he connects me with Ingrid Rosario and I become friends with her and we connect, she connects me with someone even
prophesying.
bigger,
He's prophesying.
and then we
Prophesying.
connect with someone even bigger. That's whether you're doing that in music or whether you're doing it in movies.
We love you, God!
You know what?
example-
Now I deduct your pay. That was too late.
Yeah.
You got.
man.
Comedy is all about timing. Comedy is about timing. You got to put that a lot sooner. You're canceled. You're cut.
So, for
All right,
example,
sorry, keep going.
if you were to be around me, let's say Dino, you're brand new with me, and you connect with me, and we're really cool. One day I introduce you to my dad. There's that connection right there. My dad makes Christian movies. He'll connect you into the movie, and then he'll connect you with people like Rey Cantú, like Don Infante, this guy who's made so many telenovelas and so many movies.
Yeah.
He'll connect you to someone that he knows, and then next thing you know, you're connected with Eugenio Derbez or some other
Right.
famous person. It's like that everywhere we go, and that's the best advice that my dad has ever gave me. Is just connect with people, just make connections.
Yeah, and I would probably add on that. I don't know if you said this or not, because I fell asleep while you were talking. But no, I'm just kidding. No, we were having some technical issues, so I was trying to fix it. But but I would say definitely look for a team, people that believe in you. I tell people all the time, I don't have to be your producer. You know, I don't have, you know, like that's right now. I thank the good Lord and obviously my wife who's my manager and whatnot, like that we're not starving. You know, I do this full time. My neighbors think that I sell drugs for sure because they see me in here and they see all these people that come in and out and stuff. So they're probably like, okay, what does this guy do for a living? I tell them I make records and they don't think that they think I'm lying.
Hey, I got him right here.
Dang.
God.
This was a sting operation the entire time. And
He's got wired.
What was I saying? Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? And so, and I tell people, you don't have to work with me. You just need to work with somebody that absolutely believes in you and falls in love with your product and is bought in with your product. Like right now, all the people that I work with, I'm invested and bought into what they're doing. So I have no problem reaching out to somebody or doing something outside of my comfort zone for that person. Like we've legitimately became really good friends. Like I could say we're actually really good friends. And so that yeah, he's using me, that's for sure. The manager has spoken. You're canceled. Get out of here. No. But
Yo,
no,
Jose, if you're listening to this, pick me up, please.
Paul Jose, if you're listening to this, please produce my next record. No, yeah, and so I do believe that you have to connect with people, whether that's a recording engineer, a mixing engineer, a mastering engineer, a producer, whatever, that believes in what you're doing and wants to see you succeed. And I always say this with all my artists: if you win, I win.
And to elaborate on what he said, I think it's important though to make connections with the right people, because you can make connections with the bad people. But what he said is people who believe and want to see you succeed. Yeah. Because there's people out there that just want to win for themselves, and they'll use you for that moment, and then once they squeeze the life out of you, they just kick you.
All right, you just got a raise. That was good. I deducted your pay, but now
dude's pay has been like this the whole podcast. You should name the podcast "Ups and Downs, Highs and Lows."
That's our segment.
Dino's pay, highs and lows.
But no, I think that's the other the side that people have to understand.
Well, you see it now that
Dino's getting paid for this.
I'm going to screw up every one of Julio's songs from now on.
When he edits them, they're all done. They're all messed up.
Deleted, trash, everything.
No, but honestly, you've been in it now. And how many people, even in our industry, are people that like, or like, hey, we don't really associate ourselves with those people, or like this person's toxic, or they burn bridges. Yeah. You know, luckily, I can say humbly, I've had people that are like, oh yeah, I know who you are, and people talk really great about you. But imagine if they're like, man, half the people I talk to think that you're just like a terrible person, and the other half think that you're great. I don't even know what to believe, you know. And so you have a track record, and so make sure that the people that you're working with have a good track record. You see what they're doing, and don't be afraid to ask questions. Get into awkward meetings. Yeah. And
burn your daughter.
Burn your daughter.
No, don't do that. No, do not.
Okay, CPS, if you're watching, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, this
guy. We got him
for the FBI force that's about to arrest him. They're about to come in and arrest me. I think one more thing that I would give, I sort of forgot, is that I'm a huge, big person on this. Is if you are gonna, start up in this, don't be cheap. The person is offering you not only their product but their time, and it's time consuming. Like Tim just said, he spends all day, every day in here working on music,
playing video games,
playing video games, not working on your records, by the way.
And it's not even just for music. It's for your cousin down the street who's making those rap cups, support them and stop trying to get a discount. Like,
Absolutely.
if they want to offer a discount, that's fine, but support their business, support their dream 100%. Don't go around the bush. If they say, hey, it's $40, okay, I'm going to give you the $40. If they say, just give me 30 for it, say, no, I'm going to give you the $40 to invest in what you do and invest in your dreams. And that's what really needs to be going on. So, like, for example, like this, I'm not going to come and say to him, hey, now that we're friends, man, like, do you mind dropping, a couple?
You mind buying me lunch again?
A couple bucks. Like, I'm not going to do that because it's time consuming, and I know his vision, I know his dream, I know his investments that he has to do. So the least I can do is invest 100% back into him.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing in the creative space, people do that. You don't go to you don't go to Five Guys and get a burger and say, "Oh, it's $6. Can you do it for $3?" Yeah. That's the reality. Is that it's a business, it's an entrepreneurship. This is a business for us. This is how my kid eats. This is how my wife eats. So, but people think like, oh, it's creative. So, he can take it off. And not to say that I won't do it. If I really want to work with somebody and they legitimately don't have the funds to do it, or they have little funds, if I really truly believe in what they're doing, then okay, maybe I can throw some bones.
Yeah.
Definitely Karla's looking at me like, don't ever say that on a podcast ever again. Because everybody's gonna call us and be like, hey, no. But no, I mean, yeah, she does all of that. She does all the logistical stuff. So good luck talking to her about finances, because she will eat you alive. But yeah, no, I get that. So man, one of the things I really wanted to get into with you though, I wanted to ask you, because me, once again, I grew up in it's not a big family. I mean, it's 4 of us, but like I said, I would get pounded by my brother, my Josh, which you guys obviously know. Yeah. I would get pounded by him. My older brother, he moved out, and I was very, very young, because we're 14 years apart, and me and Josh are 10 years apart. So, but him, and then my sister, as a girl, she would beat the living crap out of me, right? And but that was it, and that toughened me up. And when I went to school, I was never scared of anybody. I never, once again, A-type personality, always was class clown, had terrible grades, barely passed, but I was always the class clown. I won like 4 years in a row in high school, class clown. So I was good. And look at where it got me. Look at this now. Yeah. So where are my claps? That another deduct, bro. Oh no! He's definitely canceled now. You hit the wrong one. You're done. You're gone. Get out of here. But Julio, the most interesting thing is that you and I have legitimately gotten to know each other really, really well, right?
Yeah.
You told me that you struggled with bullying in, was it elementary, middle, high school, college? No, I'm just kidding. When was
literally,
it?
I think the bullying stopped in 11th grade, and it sounds kind of funny, but it really did stop in 11th grade. I went through a lot of bullying. You guys kind of see me now. For those of you who are just listening and not watching, you guys are jerks. Watch. So I'm a little big right now. I'm making up for all the years that I've been skinny my whole life. But I was actually a really skinny guy. I weighed 110 all the way up to 22 years old.
Okay, I want you to look at this picture real quick.
Is this
can you look at that? We're going to put it up on the screen.
We're going to put up your seat soon. Is that what we're talking about?
So you guys, we're going to put it up on the screen so you can see this.
And that was like 20-ish, 19 years old, but I was even skinnier than that. So I was 110.
Wow.
I was 5'4". And I was the immediate target of any school bully. And a lot of people now, bullies sort of tended to like not really stop existing, because we still have bullies. We have cyber bullies. There's bullying everywhere. But back when I was in school, there was that kid who was always the biggest, who would always pick around, the smaller kids. And it was to the point to where I would hate going to school. And, nothing big ever crossed my mind. I can't sit here and say, happily, I can sit here and say, oh, suicide never crossed my mind. Like, it really didn't. And I thank God so many times that it never got that bad to where suicide was an option for me, because I mean I wouldn't have been able to meet my gorgeous daughter
Yeah.
that I so burned.
How
But,
bad did it get? So
Yeah. See, the thing is, people don't know. Like, you were bullied, but
Yeah.
nobody knows like the actual stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You told me a time about. Were you in elementary?
Yeah,
or
I was
middle?
in elementary, and it was one of the first cases where I finally realized, I was like, yo, this guy's not my friend. He wants me around so he can make himself look better,
Yeah,
which
of
is
course.
what we see a lot now. I've been physically bullied, mentally bullied, and it was one occasion where it was a guy who I thought was my friend, and playing around because he wanted to show off to everybody. I'm really small, really skinny. Elementary school, I think it was 4th grade. He picked me up. He threw me in a trash can. Everybody was like in recess. The teachers were distracted. He threw me in a trash can, and worst part was that it was on the way. Like it was by the gate where you leave recess. So he threw me in there, and they all walked off laughing. And I stayed in the trash can, and just cried and balled up. And I just stayed there until recess was done. And there was like 15 more minutes left.
Or you stayed in the trash can?
I stayed in the trash can. I didn't get out. I was balled up, and I heard people like coming by, and I'm balled up. I wasn't crying anymore, but I was just kind of like trying to stay quiet.
Yeah.
And I would hear people saying like, "Oh, he's still in there," and laughing and stuff. And I waited till I didn't hear a single person. And whenever I finally realized that no one was out there anymore, I crawled up out of the trash can and I ran home.
3 days later.
3 days.
No, but it was a while. I
And
made
is it
sure
something that you kept to yourself? Did you tell your parents about
Yeah,
it?
well,
or-
actually, no. The first time I ever told that story out loud, ever to anybody, was in front of Tim and my wife here in the studio
Yeah.
about 4 months ago.
And how did we get into that? I don't even remember how we got into that.
We
You
were
remember?
we were talking about that because you were telling me we're talking about how Josh and everybody used to bully you, and you had to
okay, yeah,
learn how to
yeah.
defend yourself.
Yeah, no, I had to absolutely learn how to defend myself.
And then
Yeah,
we got
that's-
into
that's
how
true.
you had a high school bully, or could have had, until you stood up for yourself.
Oh yeah, no. It was somebody who actually knew my sister. That was the crazy part. He knew my sister really well, and I came in freshman year. My sister was extremely popular. Like, everybody, knew who she was. My brother went to the same high school too. He was not popular. He was a nerd. No, I'm just kidding, Josh. If you're watching this, nah. He's like, nah. You guys know Josh, but and so yeah, and so I went into high school, and I was already like ruling high school because I already had status because of my siblings, and no joke, bro. There was one kid who like legit. That was the first time I ever felt like somebody was ever trying to mess with me, and he was twice my size. And I'll never forget, in a cafeteria, I legitimately he had said something very inappropriate. I can't say it on the podcast, but he said something. And I literally went up face to face with him, and I'm like, bro, trust me, I'm not scared of you, bro. I will, like, I'm a dirty fighter too. Like,
You're not that guy.
Trust me,
You're
pal.
not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
I'm like, trust me, you're not that guy, pal. No, but I yeah, and he knew it. Like, he knew I was crazy. Like, I will legitimately use anything that's close by, and I'll just go to town on you, bro. I'm not scared of you. And when he saw that, he like backed down, and he never messed with me ever again. And people were like, "Yeah, Tim's crazy, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of am." So I never got messed with, but I always, when I saw people either get messed with, one of my really good friends, R.I.P. He's no longer with us, but one of my best friends from middle school and high school. I remember in middle school he got picked on real bad. And we were in like 6th grade, and they were like 8th graders, and I knew them. They were really cool guys. They were the cool guys and stuff. And I remember he was like, dude, he just looked like distraught. Like, they were saying some nasty stuff. I went up and I was like, hey, don't ever talk to him like that again. They're like, oh, you're friends with this guy? And he's the one that I told you that got me into Star Wars.
Gotcha.
Because I thought it was like the nerdiest thing in the world, and he got me into it. And they were like, oh, we didn't know he was your friend. My bad, bro. My bad. I was like, yeah, don't do that to anybody, bro. Like, come on, leave him alone. Like, move on.
Where were you when
whatever.
I was in high school?
I know, man. I know. But I was always that way. Like, people that just can't defend themselves, man. I definitely have a soft spot. That's why I'm doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu, so I can mess people up. Just like, you want to mess with my kid? ankle lock, you know. And just
Yeah.
snap
Now
the
he gets
ankles.
bullied by Maria.
Yeah, hey, don't bring Maria in this, okay? She did not beat me up. I tripped and she got a rear naked choke on me on accident. That was not okay. I didn't.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
He needs some man.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't tap either. I had an itch.
He needs some milk.
Oh my god. Okay. No, but in all seriousness, yeah. So you know, that's definitely something that's absolutely crazy. But I'm glad that now you have like a really good comedic side to you now.
Yeah,
Big
so
time for sure.
you know, now that I'm old enough, you know, there's a lot of people who, you know,
Yeah.
I do take it to heart. You know, I see someone getting
Yeah.
bullied, I try to help them out. But one thing that I fight with a lot of people all the time is I have a really weird and dark sense of humor. Like I can
I'm
get
the same way.
I
yeah.
can get really dark.
Yeah, mine's very sarcastic.
The thing
and dark,
is,
too.
just because I have a dark sense of humor doesn't mean I take everything as a joke. Like I laugh at things because it's reality. It's what people go through. Like if I hear someone, you know, tell a story about getting bullied, you know, I laugh at it because I went through that, you know, and it's just one of those things where it's just one of those things where if you laugh at everything, you get mad at nothing. But if you get mad at everything, you laugh at nothing. Yeah, that's good. So one of the things that I learned
Put that on an
is-
Instagram.
Yeah.
caption
Yeah,
right
can you
there.
repeat
Yeah,
that
repeat
again?
And
That
then,
was
put,
just so
and then put Michael Scott's picture in the back. But so
Yeah.
you know, you go through these things and you know you've moved on.
Absolutely.
But there's no pain, there's no shame, there's nothing bad in taking a laugh at things that, you know, like now I laugh at how I was bullied. I mean, I still kind of, you know, have that, but I have it to help me, you know, when it comes to like my daughter, you know, like
Yeah,
obviously when my
especially,
daughter gets to
man.
that age,
Especially.
I'm going to want to teach her how to defend herself, you know, no matter
sure.
what. And not only because of bullying, because of things that are going around now. Like I'm going to tell my daughter, if anybody ever tries to pick on you, you either say, if someone tries to verbally pick on you, you verbally pick on them.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Like
That's what I was gonna
I don't
say.
know
Like,
about
how,
that.
like, what do you tell the people right now who are currently getting bullied?
I-
Like, for you came out.
I
of
think
it,
I
but
think my
for those
thing
right now
was-
who are going through it.
my thing is just get away from those people that you think are your friends. That was my biggest thing. A lot of people that used to pick on me were people I used to think
They
were my
weren't random
friends.
people. They were your
Yeah,
actual
they were
friends.
they were my
Yeah.
closest.
Yeah, yeah.
They're the
They were
people
just
that I hang out with.
self-conscious, and
Yeah.
they beat up on you verbally because they were self-conscious.
Yeah, when I got older, when I was younger, it was the obvious, you know, the big kid in school,
Yeah.
and just picked on the little guy. But when I
Right.
got older, it was a little harder to distinguish bullies.
Yeah.
But now I realize that, you know, it was my closest friends. I was the kid. I was the smallest one in the group,
Right.
and I was the darkest, you know, because I used to hang around with a lot of, you know, whitewashed people. So they used to just pick on me all the time, and then they would say, you know, racist jokes off to the side. And now that I'm older, I'm like, man, those were really, really toxic friends, and I should not have been around them.
Yeah. No, I tell
So-
my kid, just poke him in the eyes and say,
Captain Insano,
Captain
show no
Insano- Captain Insano shows no mercy. 'Cause
and
I've never
I'm
been
all-
to... Oh,
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm all for, you know, non-violence if it's not needed, but
Absolutely.
dude, if we're honest, sometimes it's needed, man. Like
Yeah.
if I would have glocked my bully right in the face the first time he ever tried to, you know, pick on me, he probably would have never thrown me in that trash
Yeah.
can.
No,
You know,
I mean,
like-
look, I was in the same situation that I was always the skinniest kid in my in every grade. You know, I was 18 and I was 120 pounds, and there were seniors that were like, you know, that were 200 and some odd pounds with beards, and like they looked like men, right? and none of them would. They never looked at me lesser than them, because it was that confidence and the outside shell of like I was a Chihuahua that acted like a pit bull.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so nobody saw like, oh, because that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand that, you know, if you are a self-conscious person, and we can literally spend a whole podcast on this, but if you're a self-conscious person and you show it, you know, it's going to be seen from a mile away. But if you're, you know, if you're somebody that you consider as not attractive, but you act like you're attractive, that's like 50% of the battle right there.
Yeah.
Like absolutely hands down. You know, I've seen people who, you know, they look like the Elephant Man, but they act like they're Brad Pitt. And you even get a little intimidated by them. You're like, oh my gosh, you know? And because at the end of the day, you know, what a lot of young people don't understand is that it's about your character. A lot of times, it's about what you portray. Trying to get to.
Si sabes cómo te sientes, por ejemplo, a mí, yo siento que lo que me ayudaba era que yo tenía un hermano mayor y todo el mundo le tenía miedo. Entonces yo sabía como que si algo me pasaba.
Yeah. Your brother also killed people. Like, I mean, he was a certified killer. So, like, I'm pretty sure his body count was like, in the triple digits.
Let me find out Karla's related to Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, I mean, I will neither confirm or deny that allegation, but all I say is never mess with Karla because you will have 3 masked men in your home and you won't even know it. All right.
But I think what I said will stand for me. Is just get away from those toxic people. Even if you like you're by yourself for a couple, like, man, like, I learned the hard way that it's better to be by yourself than to be with bad company. Like it's just really been. Well, I actually stole that from a song. So.
Spanish
I
thought that was Robin Williams. Didn't he say something like that? No?
I don't know. I got it from this one song.
Oh, okay.
Got it from a cereal box.
I got it from a fortune cookie. No, but that's good, man. That's good. Well, we're getting to the end of our podcast. Honestly, thank you, Julio. Once again, big round of applause. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast. Hopefully we didn't say anything that could get us canceled. It is 2021, and there's a lot of sensitive stuff happening right now. And I know I have really dark humor too, and very sarcastic sense of humor. So hopefully people didn't take stuff too serious. But thank you so much for coming on. Any final words?
No, I mean, you guys that are listening, that are watching, just take all the positivity that you've heard in here. And if you heard anything that's negative for you, just release it. You know, there's no reason to throw out an entire podcast just because of one little thing that we may have said. You know, so
just release it on COD.
Just take the positivity, release the negativity.
Absolutely.
And that's not just for this podcast. That's for everything. You know, if you have a friend who you've been friends with for 10 years and they say one little negative thing, you're not going to throw away the whole relationship, are you? I mean, you are.
Absolutely. There's that,
petty,
that saying, like, you can do 99 or you can do 99 nice things for somebody, and the one time you do something bad, like, they'll remember that one bad.
So in this podcast and also in life, just take in all the positivity and just throw away all the negativity. That's
Absolutely.
pretty much it.
No, thank you so much for that. And once again, make sure you guys don't forget to like and subscribe to our channels, and make sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. This was Tim's Bros Podcast. We'll see you in the next one.
See you.